I'm Jay Jackson. Welcome to WineNewsNoir.com. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. We begin this episode in West Hollywood, California, where two wine power players came together and gave us a closer look at the state of the wine union. If you felt the growing excitement in the black wine space, you can give a lot of credit to these two, Ingrid Best and Ken Pettis, aka Ken Plush. Best is the founder of IBest Wines, and Pettis is the wine educator and culture curator behind Unwine 101, who's giving Best her flowers on this day in West Hollywood, California.
Ingrid has been an amazing, phenomenal resource in the wine industry and a dear friend. So it only made sense for us to be able to come together today while we're in LA, while she's based in LA, and highlight her wine, talk about how she entered the wine industry, some of her successes, some of the fun things that she's done, what she has in store, but also get her to interact with, where she lives and get to have a good time. I mean, we have the DJs going, the music's going. Unwind is about having a good time with wine. So always make a time to unwind. Cheers.
So I'm so grateful for it. It energizes me. It helps me show up, every single day. And it's also nice to just see people in community again, enjoying great wine from South Africa.
The event couldn't come at a better time as black winemakers face an uncertain future, just as many were making inroads into national chains thanks to diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. President Donald Trump's war against DEI has sparked a rollback among some stores. Best says that only encourages her to fight harder.
For me, I think it's sad to see, but I am more encouraged than I've ever been because, this is an issue of light and dark. And so if you're sitting on the side of light, you're going to be okay. And if you're not, then that's where you're going to, I think, experience real trouble. So we just got to band together. We have to be honest. We have to support each other in real ways, and not just now, but always.
A recent NBC poll shows the country is split on DEI, which suggests the changes could be long-term. That's why Best says now is the time to look towards community.
Keep your head up, quiet the noise. It's super important for us to be anchored in the creative spirit. So focus on what your passion is, focus on what makes you feel good, and make sure that you are supporting other people, right, in the process. But I think the biggest thing that I would say to us is to keep going.
Now, it was just announced that IBest Wines will now be on American Airlines as part of its global first-class wine program. Congratulations are certainly in order. Ken Pettis is definitely keeping it going. He was recently named wine program director for the upcoming Family Reunion Festival in Middleburg, Virginia. Held in mid-August, the three-day event features meals, conversations, and innovations from the top black and brown chefs and hospitality professionals from around the world. Pettis says being the wine director gives him the opportunity to feature black-owned wines that could open some eyes.
I'm just blessed. I use that phrase in so many different ways. I'm very blessed to be able to put together a wine program that represents and complements these amazing chefs from all around the country as we all descend upon Middleburg, Virginia at Sheila Johnson's Salamander Resort and putting together a wine program that highlights the culinary program, but also the 2,000 guests that are coming down and descending upon the city too. So I am more than excited to put together wine programs, especially, again, wines that highlight and amplify us and brands that, we can support. Again, just putting wine in front of people that may not even know about IBest Wines, may not even have known that might have seen IBest Wines on a shelf, but didn't know that it was black owned, right? So, and then pouring it for the people too, right? So it's all encompassing, it's all important.
DTC's downward trend, the world's most admired wine brand, and a major figure passes away in Napa Valley. Here are the top stories for this month's Wine in a Minute. Direct-to-consumer wine sales fell in value and volume for the second straight month, this time by 10% in value and 15% in volume. The data is coming from the monthly Wine Business Analytics Ship Compliant Report. Analysts say ongoing healthier lifestyle trends and the continued rise of non-alcoholic cocktails and wines are taking a bite out of the market. The 2025 Drinks International magazine Most Admired Wine Brand is out, and Argentina's Catina tops the list. It was the runner-up last year. Italy's Gaia is the runner-up this time around, with Spain's La Rioja Alta coming in third place. The list is compiled by the world's top wine writers, sommeliers, and masters of wine, among others. A wine giant is being remembered in Napa Valley. Wine Spectator's Napa Valley Bureau Chief James Lobby died last month after a short illness. He worked for the magazine for nearly 4 decades, turning it into a global force in the wine world. Lobby also helped shape California's reputation as a major player in wine. Lobby was 73 years old. And finally, 2 news anchors walk into a vineyard and come out as wine brand owners. It's not an April Fool's joke. It's the story of Nfinity Cellars. Winemakers have a myriad of reasons why they get into the wine game, but none quite as unique as Danielle Nottingham and Malou Nubla, creators of Nfinity Cellars.
Right now on California Live. And it's Filipino American History Month.
Both were successful broadcasters in a California lifestyle show that featured food, fun, and of course, wine.
You know, we've been in television for a very long time, and we're always covering these different wineries and stories of people starting their own wine label or different kinds of labels. And we're like, you know what? I think it's our turn. We're like giving everyone all this exposure.
Because we just had this chance. Someone had like, I forgot how many grapes they were, and they let Malou know. They're like, look, are you guys really trying to get into the business? And they had Chardonnay grapes for sale. And we bought them, and we started out with our first vintage. It was a 2021 Chardonnay. And then from there, it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And now here we are.
And on this night, they're at the famed 1010 Wine and Events in Inglewood, California, serving up their Rosé, Brut, and Chardonnay wines, at the same time showing wine lovers that the wine space is more and more about diversity.
The wine space is totally exciting now because women, Black women, are coming in and trying to interrupt the space. You know, we're dealing with a white male-dominated field, and we're trying to break through and make a name for ourselves and to make wine more accessible to everyone. I mean, that's really what our goal is here. Our grapes are sourced from some of the most world-renowned regions of California, and we're trying to make it accessible to people. You don't have to buy a $100 bottle of wine. You can buy our wine for $50, and it will taste just the same and better, I would say.
This is their first tasting together in Southern California, where wine lovers lined up for a sip and to hear their story. Nubla says, thanks to their past media connections, their wines are all about access.
We're able to deliver or serve wines that are well, they're super expensive at other places, but we can actually make it even more accessible for other people with our brand.
People like what they like, and we know this tastes good, and whatever you like to taste, if you like a peachy taste, if you like apricot, if you like bold flavors, if you like a sparkling rosé or a brut, we have it because people like what they like.
The wines range in price from $25 to $60. For more information about Nfinity Cellars, just go to their website, InfinityCellars.com. Keep in mind the letter N, not I, is the first letter of the brand's name. And that's going to do it for this episode of WineNewsNoir.com. Please remember to support our sponsors on our website. Again, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. I'm Jay Jackson. Cheers.